Okay, real quick, as promised, I want to show you how to get to a website where you can calculate the mortgage payment yourself online, and also shows the numbers that I just shared in this example. So get on the line, go to Google, type in simple mortgage calculator. That's just the sentence I chose. I already pulled a couple of these sites up, but Bankrate was one that was pretty user-friendly. Mortgagecalculator.org was pretty user-friendly. I already have those two up here, so we're going to jump into this one first. Mortgage Calculator, pop up here, and this is a very robust site. I like it. I've used this before. If you click on that word, it'll take you to the home page, which is where we are now. And there's different ways you can get to the same thing, more than one way to skin a cat. Um, the homepage here offers a cool feature, which I'm going to show you, but you can also slide over here to the financial calcs and it'll give you an amortization schedule. I'll show you what that looks like. But let's punch in those numbers that I used. Prove me right or prove me wrong. Let's use these numbers. We're going to assume the 250,000 example I showed you, just so you can see this live in action. In this example, we don't have a down payment. If you don't have a down payment in real life, you will have to pay PMI, which is the private mortgage insurance. This is insurance on yourself that you have to pay because you don't have enough down payment. You don't want that. 7% interest, loan term 30 years. Let's get rid of anything else. There's that PMI I told you about. Let's assume that's zero. Let's zero all this stuff out. We don't want any extra noise in the calculation. I just want to see how much the mortgage itself will cost over 30 years. So I'm going to hit calculate. And what do we have here? Where's that magic? 166326. That was the number I used. And here's the other cool thing. If you scroll down, this fine print is good fine print. You can click on Show Monthly Amortization Table and hit Calculate again. And it'll give you every single month's interest and principal. So you can see, like I shared in my example, most of your money early on is going to interest. You get way down there. You got to keep on going to the 20-year mark. Boom, boom, boom. Somewhere around the 800 mark. Let's see, 832 and 830. That's the one that I used in my example. 2045, if you started today, is when you would hit the tipping point. Crazy. Let's go back up. You can go back down to show amortization tables. That might be too much. Just show the annual number, please. And you scroll down and you'll see your summary by year. So this is super helpful to get educated on what the numbers are that you're playing around with. And if you're working with a bank, you can do some of your own homework behind the scenes. The same thing here, if you went to financial calcs amortization, punch in the same numbers. 250,000, no down payment, loan amount is 250, 30 years, 7%, payment frequency is monthly, calculate, and then down below you get the same thing I showed you before. An inline schedule just means it's going to show up down here. You can get a printable schedule to send it to a friend. You can get that's the same thing, print friendly table. So this is pretty cool. I haven't explored all that's on this website, but I've used it personally to do calculations, to do scenarios for some of my clients. Same thing here. If this is more your cup of tea, it's just find one that you like. But math is math, people. So I want to show you that it's not as scary as it might seem. Down payment, again, zero. $250,000 loan, interest rate, we're going to do 7 flat. Don't worry about the zip code unless you care. Update. And what did this put in here? There it is, the 166326. It's helpful to know what you're looking at. Look, even this number here, you might think, well, what's that? They're making some assumptions on what your property tax might be and your homeowner's insurance, because remember in my video I mentioned escrow. That's when the mortgage company requires you to put this money aside so that they can make sure that your property stays in good standing. So this is just a little fun bonus. You can zero those out if you want to. You're in charge here. And there's your 1663. But this is a great tool. Again, I've found these helpful. When you want to explore different options, this is a great way to start. So don't be scared by all the numbers. Just read what's on the page. And I hope this is helpful as well.